Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marina Cunningham, and this is Ronan Coleman. We have done our project on environmental finance, which is a prevalent topic in both the media and in all of our lives.
We were therefore very motivated to see if there were ways that we, as Actuaries of the future, could get involved in environmental finance, using the skills which we have learned in the course of our studies. We concluded that there's a range of areas within environmental finance where we could apply our particular skill set. Two such areas include climate change and weather risk management. Throughout our project, we investigated climate change and the progress which has taken place so far. For example, the International Actuarial Association has established an environmental working group dedicated to environmental affairs. The American Academy of Actuaries and Society of Actuaries in Canada have set up a climate change committee which is working on the Climate Change Index project. This index is intended to be a resource for actuaries and others in developing predictive models for potential climate change-related losses, opportunities, and risk management strategies. The chair of the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries has also issued a risk alert to raise awareness on the financial risks created by climate change.
Although, of course, we are not suggesting that actuaries are climate scientists, they do possess a particular skill set that provides a natural fit with the problem-solving requirements of environmentally sustainable economics.
For example, setting climate change policies requires an understanding of economics, which is part of the multidisciplinary skill set of actuaries. Actuaries are also trained specialists in statistics and probability, which are also very adaptable skills in the workplace. And finally, actuaries have the ability to use their financial knowledge and calculus skills to set carbon prices and assess the budgetary impact of increased incidence of diseases.
Another area we assessed in the course of our project was that of weather risk management. Many industries are extremely sensitive to weather conditions, such as transportation and agriculture. Weather risk management is a type of risk management that allows these organisations to address the potential financial losses associated with adverse weather conditions. They set up a financial contract with a separate legal entity which will assume this financial weather risk for them. In this contract, they must pay the buyer a preset amount of money, a premium, which will correspond to the loss or cost associated with this disruptive weather. But what can the actuaries do? In calculating this premium, financial instruments called weather derivatives are used. Weather derivatives are index-based instruments that use observed weather data to create an index on which a payment can be based.
The broker will require the skills of highly skilled professionals, such as actuaries, to employ a range of techniques to analyse the data and determine a fair price to be charged.
Why are actuaries particularly suitable for this role? Now, calculating these premiums is an extremely complex, iterative process, and this is where the actuaries come into play. In their traditional roles, actuaries must collate and collect relevant statistical data for further study and analysis.
They must also perform quantitative analysis and decision-making in conditions where data is limited and unreliable, which would be the case in these circumstances. And finally, it is the responsibility of the actuary to create in-depth reports containing charts and tables, making inferences on the tables, and to explain these reports to all parties with a vested interest. We'd like to thank you all for your attention today.